Welcome back to another episode of the Kane and Day Show. I'm your host, Kane. You can find me on Twitter at Killing Kane and YouTube at Killing Kane. I'm going to kick it over to my co-host here. He'll introduce himself, and then we'll get into the end of the regular season, Week 18.
Yeah, my name is Day. You can find me on Twitter, Realdaygaming1, and follow the show on Twitter, the Kane and Day Show.
It's about to get really active. It is. I hope.
Maybe I'll have some tweets prepared for the playoffs. Get really invested into it.
We should do a watch party and just live tweet the game. One of them.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we won't, but Day, stay tuned. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It is free to do. Also, hit that bell notification so you know when our videos go live. All right, then, what are we talking about today?
Well, I'd like to start with some good news. DeMar got released from the Cincinnati hospital.
It's true.
And he is in Buffalo, so we'd love to hear that a week later. Cause
one of the big things that I saw today, I was scrolling through my TikTok, right, like I normally do, because I'm one of the basic people, you know, I just watch TikTok all the time. So trendy. I saw a video. I don't know if they were nurses, I don't know if they were doctors, but they worked at the hospital that he was at. And they expressed the love of the Bills Mafia. They felt it. That, you know, everybody was nothing but respectful when they were there. And they told a story about, you know, and we'll get into it more when we get to the game, but when the Bills had the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, apparently DeMar jumped out of the chair he was in. You know, he's probably all hooked up. All the alarms are blaring. But can you blame the guy? You know, that they played for him this week. It was fantastic. But let's get into the week. Week 18. It was a great end. It was and was not a great end to the football season. Or regular season. Because of how they scheduled the games. This is another thing before we get into the actual games. They scheduled this weekend so bad.
Why?
Because with the Sunday night game. That was my biggest problem with Sunday night game, right? Is the Lions and Packers should have been playing right along with the Seahawks and the Rams. Because at that point in the game, it was... does the Lions show up? Right?
Well, of course they do. Well, it became what the Rams were trying to do to the Seahawks.
Right. And
which is mess up a division rival and watch them not go to the playoffs as well.
That's
and
true.
Have a better record than them.
It just sucks because everyone knows I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm a Seattle-based fan. But I wanted to see Detroit get in. And it just, with the scheduling, it's like Seahawks won, the Lions don't get in. It would have been nice to see them side by side playing at 1:25 Pacific time. And at the end of the game, it's like, oh my God, especially if the Lions game ended early, you know, at regulation, and then they're just watching the Seahawks game.
I think they should have played on Saturday.
Now there you go. But
switch the night games.
You know, that's fair. But here we go. Let's get into the week. Chiefs handled business down in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
31-13. Absolutely destroyed him. And then football gods, I am so sorry. I apologize about everything I've ever said about this man. I am sorry. I was wrong. Trevor Lawrence did it. He did it. He brought this team in year 2 to the playoffs. Yes, there was a lot of ups and downs with this team.
Lots of ups and downs.
It was a light switch. They were either on or they were off. But they They hosted Tennessee, big rival in the division, probably the best team out of the division for like the last, I would say, since 2018.
Yeah, about 4 years.
4 years. Ryan Tannehill has been nothing but respectable there. Coming in trying to see who's going to go to the playoffs. And there's a lot of win-ins this last weekend, which was fantastic to see. Big news out of Tennessee's camp, though. They did fire their OC, and now on the hunt for new OC. I mean, you have to shake it up, right? As you've stated in many episodes before, when Derrick Henry's on the field, they're running the ball. When he's not on the field,
very obvious,
they're throwing the ball. That is the most lazy offensive coordination calls I've ever heard of.
I mean, lazy, it's just poor. But, I mean, they scored, I don't even, I was at a bar watching this game. I don't actually remember the score, I just know who won.
20-16.
I mean, they couldn't score more than 16 points. How many weeks in a row is that where they scored 16 or 14?
Right.
They scored, what, 14 against the Cowboys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at this. Well, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I'm not. 16, 13, 14, 14. That is their last 4 weeks.
It's not good. And that's the 4 weeks, right? They've been without Ryan Tannehill. It's been 3 weeks.
Joshua Dobbs, 3. I think Malik started against the Texans.
He did.
And then they just lost to the Chargers.
Yeah.
With Tannehill. But yeah, Malik lost to the Texans. The Cowboys crushed him at home.
Yeah.
With
Dobbs.
Josh. But Josh didn't look horrible in the game. They just didn't score.
Josh didn't look horrible in this game if you look at the stats.
No, and all it came down to was a strip sack, scoop, and score.
Right, and Josh Allen, boom, surprise. He's on the Jacksonville Jaguars now. Nah, there's 2 Josh Allens in the league. You guys know this by now. But he's a defensive monster, gets the scoops, runs it in. But on this Titans side, it wasn't a bad game, honestly. Joshua Dobbs, 20 for 29. That's pretty good for a guy who's been kind of dangled, right?
Like an NFL start.
Yeah. Well, did he ever start for Pittsburgh?
No.
I know he played.
Well, the garbage time, but yeah, these were his first 2. The Cowboy start was his first career start.
And he hasn't been bad. 179, 1 touchdown.
Better than Malik, I'll tell you that.
That's true, but they also don't let Malik throw the ball.
They didn't really let Josh throw the ball against Dallas either.
Yeah, but here, 30 attempts almost.
Yeah, good. And they looked a little bit better. I mean, 179 is really...
Hopefully with the new OC next year, this team looks a lot better because they should be very good. They have pieces.
I believe so.
They have pieces to be competitive in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
They just need a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. He's average. He's going to get you to the playoffs. He's going to win you 9 games. But you need something better, and hopefully a new OC will reinvigorate the offense because Treylon Burks isn't bad. They've got a slew of guys here. Not even going to pronounce his name, but I'm pretty sure it's the tight end.
I believe so.
He's not bad. He's really fast. You have Robert Woods.
Not Haskins the ball much either.
Yeah, you've Robert Woods, Austin Hooper, Treylon Burks. And then Hassan Haskins. Not bad.
Why draft Haskins if you weren't even gonna use him? It's not like James Cook where he fumbled 3 times and got benched.
Right. But Derrick Henry had a Derrick Henry game.
Of course he did.
He didn't get in the end zone, which is a shame. But when you carry the ball 30 times, you get 109 yards. That's a lot of. Derrick Henry was as balanced to the passing attack as it can get. Himself.
Yeah. It's still,
But you had your top 3 receivers at 38, 40, and 42. That's just not going to get the job done. Especially when it's, against a division rival. It's not going to get the job done. Treylon Burks.
Division rival. It was a win and in.
Yeah, and Treylon Burks is gonna be your best receiver on the team, most likely. Why does he have 4 for 19? Come on, guys. Like, this is kind of the same thing that George Pickens went through earlier in the year. He wasn't getting anything. And then Kenny started throwing to him.
That's crazy what happens.
George Pickens is really good. And Treylon Burks looks like he has all the tools to be a very talented wide receiver. They just got to use him. They got to use all these guys. Robert Woods has proved to be a reliable wide receiver in the league. I mean, look at before he got hurt on the Rams. He was their touchdown leader. Because he was flying by everybody. He had amazing hands and amazing footwork. And now he's on the Titans with nothing.
Well, there's no quarterback there.
You haven't talked about Robert Woods all year. We've sat here and been like, where the fuck is he? Well,
we talked more about him than Kenny Galladay, who actually got a catch.
He got a catch and he got a touchdown.
He did. I saw that.
I was gonna bring that up I was gonna bring that up when we got to the Giants, but you beat me to the punch.
Well, you kind of set me up there for it.
That's fair. But let's jump over to the Jags side. Jags, there's nothing but bright in this future for this team. There's just
I'm so thrilled for them.
So
you know how much I like Trevor Lawrence.
I do, and you know how much I like Doug Peterson.
Yep.
He is a fantastic head coach. And, his name's going to be in Coach of the Year.
Good.
But there's going to be one other man who beats him out.
There's a couple others I could think of.
I think the top one who's most likely going to win is the man in the Motor City himself, Dan Campbell.
I don't think he's going to win. If they went to the playoffs, I think he had a good chance, but...
Yeah, but 9-8. Second in the division.
That's true.
But let's jump on Jacksonville. This team, like we said earlier, had a lot of ups and downs. And as of late, Trevor Lawrence really turned it on. Didn't have the most fantastic game here, but hey, when you're not turning the ball over, how often do you lose?
I don't know. Ask TCU.
Ouchie. Got him.
It's really recent when we're recording this. I don't even care about that game anymore.
But, Trevor Lawrence, 20 for 32, 212 and a touchdown. Not bad.
That touchdown pass was a fantastic throw. It was a fantastic throw.
Yeah. And, I'm going to say this now. This Titans defense is no joke, though.
Well, they've always been good.
You held...
It was just a matter of scoring. Just like the Broncos, they couldn't score.
They held Travis Etienne to 17 yards.
Yeah, but how many receiving did he have? I don't have it open.
17.
Oh, he had 17 total. Oh, so
he had 34 total. But here's your thing. You have such a good receiving core. You and I sat there at the beginning of the year and we scratched our head on the 3 signings that they made for pass catching. Felt like they overpaid for Zay Jones. They overpaid for Christian Kirk. I think $33 million for Zay Jones at that point in time was crazy. I was thinking more of like a 20 to 24 mil a year.
80 catches later.
Evan Ingram had a fantastic year. And this poises
the back half, yeah.
This poises them to bring him back long term now.
I hope so.
And I think they will.
I think Trevor needs him.
I think Evan needs the Jaguars. He needs a professional head coach, and Doug Peterson has his guys. And I think this team is going to explode next year, especially when it comes draft time. You're going to see something big happen with this organization, and they're just going to be better. I mean, they're already going to be better week 1 because they're going to have Calvin Ridley. Like, you're going to add another piece on that. And it's going to be terrifying because Trevor Lawrence is going to dice every single defensive scheme next year. It's going to be crazy. I'm all aboard. It's like I'm a fan of him as much as I am of Joe Burrow. And I love Joe Burrow. But Trevor Lawrence, just dude's a dog.
They should be scared for next week, though.
Yeah, they should. I mean,
because that was their best game of the year, was against the Chargers and out in LA. Now they get to play them at home. We both know it's not easy to beat a team twice.
Yeah.
Especially the division. Now you got to do it out of division. It's tough.
Yeah.
That was probably the hardest pull they could have gotten.
Yeah.
Do I think they could still beat them? Of course. Because they dominated them. It wasn't even close. I think Herbert was still kind of hurt.
Mm.
But
I mean, you're gonna have here's the big thing with the Chargers matchup. Are they gonna have Mike Williams?
Did he get hurt?
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't know that. You're supposed to be a Chargers fan.
I was at the airport. What do you want me to do?
I figured you'd get a notification to say one of your favorite players on the team is hurt.
No. I'm stuck in it. You know what? That airport Wi-Fi sucks too.
All right, well,
that's a different topic for a different
day. Fact check me real quick. Fact check me real quick.
I don't want to read it.
Okay, well,
I just take your word for it.
That's the big thing. Is I'm pretty sure I saw that he's injured because I'm pretty sure he left the game. Oh, he's looking now. But here's the big thing that's got to happen. Travis Etienne has to produce for this team to soar.
He's got a back bruise. He'll be fine.
You hope so. Well, you know how injuries go with him.
Unfortunately.
But this Jags team really needs some players to step up. Marvin Jones has been a guy stepping up lately. You've seen his name on their stat sheet a little bit more often now. A little higher on the stats. He's not been bad his whole career. He was a Detroit guy with Kenny Galladay, and let's be honest, I think he was better than Galladay because he did it for multiple years. And
they let him walk. But
you need Travis Etienne to be more in this playoff matchup coming up. I mean, that's how it has to be. Trevor Lawrence has to play perfect. Really does. I think he can too, but you're also going up against Justin Herbert. So
my favorite player.
It's true. So let's see who's next. What do we got next? The Steelers dominated the Browns again. Deshaun Watson's not looking good. We'll see how the
full offseason.
We'll see how the offseason goes. I was just about to say that. We'll see how it goes, and then it'll go from there. Bengals decimated the Ravens.
Easy money.
My boy Jamar Chase doing the gritty all over everybody. I don't think he got a touchdown, but he had so many yards again. The coldest picture. There was two coldest picture moments of the weekend, and one of them was not Jamar Chase. Joey Burr sitting there with the cigar again, walking around in his shades.
Yeah.
Stone cold. Just perfect. Vikings, they are frauds, but they beat the Bears, which now the Bears have secured
the number one. Bears.
It doesn't matter. I don't think they were going to
give them a better chance, but that's not the point.
Did you just say something good about Justin Fields?
Well, when he runs for 150 yards a game, he's bound to score at least once.
That's true. Bills Patriots. Patriots had no business winning that game ever. No. Not the slightest. They were never going to win. Something crazy, miraculous was going to happen to swing in the Bills' way, and that started
on the opening kick.
Off the opening kick for a touchdown. Fantastic. It kind of got heated there for a little bit. It was close. and then the Bills just pulled away. So it was fantastic.
They had it on at the restaurant I was at, and it was 14-14 when we left, and then next time I looked, it wasn't even close.
Oh, yeah. Dolphins barely scraped by the Jets.
Yo, the garbage time safety?
Yeah.
Bet you didn't have that on your bingo card.
But that got... And then a field goal.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
There's a field goal with 7 seconds left, and the Jets tried to do like a hook and ladder that ended up in a safety because it went out the back of the end zone.
Yeah. So...
Garbage time.
A little crazy. Dolphins are in the playoffs. Do they have Tua back for the playoffs? Don't even play him.
Not.
Don't even play him. Nope. Hope that Teddy is back. You hope Teddy's back because with Teddy, you at least have a chance.
That is true.
The Falcons absolutely blasted the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but
I want to look at this stats real quick.
Well, it's not going to be in there, but Tampa Bay lost their center to an injury.
Oh, is that
and
why?
I believe their left or right guard got hurt as well because Brady insisted on everybody playing instead of taking the week off. And now he's down his center.
He's an idiot, but Desmond Ritter had a very good game. He did.
It's a garbage time game.
It's okay, but 19 for 30 against a good defense. Even their secondary's good.
Arguably.
So 224 and 2 touchdowns. It's a pretty good game.
8-9 was the division winner. I'm just putting that out.
Oh, I know. It's wild. It's wild that the Falcons just pissed away their lead. The Falcons should have won that division this year.
I don't think it really mattered who won that division. I think Dallas goes in there on Monday, and they're gonna crush them.
Yeah. Next game here. Panthers beat the Saints 10-7. Dude, this Saints team is
exciting game.
This Saints team is so talented.
But they're so bad, it's crazy.
They're so bad. Like, something has to change in the offseason.
They're so bad.
I would just say this. I would say, hey, head coach, see ya. Hey, Sean, come back.
Not if Denver gets him first.
Well, they still have to allow it to happen. Like, I know that they allowed him to talk, but they have to agree to a trade. They have to.
Yeah.
And guess what? Sean Payton could just go back to the Saints.
What a plot twist that would be, huh?
I would love it because when he is the head coach of the Saints, they are good.
Well, it's because he's a good coach, so.
Exactly. Controversial game next. Texans beat the Colts 32-31. And we're not going to get into this game. It's garbage. It was just for who's going to get the first overall pick, really. But the thing is, that Hail Mary at the end of the game. From the clips and angles I've seen it just looked like the defender gave up. And let the guy...
It's funny to me.
And the guy who was on the receiver's back gave up as well. Kind of crazy. I feel like the guy who was jumping in the air right in front of the ball could have picked it.
He just whiffed.
And the guy who was on the receiver's back could have probably batted it down. But Bob's your uncle. Texans win. In J.J. Watt's final game, I know that's awesome. That is awesome to see. You know, this team was decimated by injury all year long. You had DeAndre Hopkins out for the first 8 games. It was a tough year for the Cardinals, and it sucks to see J.J. Watt walk away on this. It really does.
Kingsbury
is gone. I called it. I knew it was gonna happen. And you've said it for so long, and I didn't listen for a bit, and then I started listening. He's never done anything. He's made the playoffs but lost every single time. Kyler Murray has not been good, and they're giving Kyler say in who the next head coach can be, which is wild to me.
Godspeed.
You're gonna see something wild.
Yeah, he's in a 1v3 right now, and he can't clutch it. It's, shocked.
The weirdest game I want to say of the weekend was how Sam Howell in his first.
Did you see the clip of Stephen A. Smith this morning?
I want you to tell me about it.
He showed up to work in a cowboy hat.
Oh yeah,
and he was just talking about how it wasn't.
I remember
Taylor
the cowboy.
Heineke.
I remember the whole him and Skip, and every time the Cowboys lost, he gets all dressed up in a cowboy getup.
Oh yeah,
because
he had a suit on today.
He
just
detests.
had the cowboy hat.
He detests the Cowboys. In this game right here, I'm just gonna say we're not gonna get too much into it. I just kind of want to go over Sam's little first start, rookie. His stats.
Spot start.
This game proves Dak Prescott is an absolute fraud. The Cowboys are frauds. Not good. Not good.
Didn't I tell you last week the Cowboys are only as good as Dak? I've been saying that for weeks now.
I've
What
known
happened?
it his whole
Pick
career.
six. Pick 6. I mean, they scored 6. They almost let Gardner Minshew and Sam Howell beat them in consecutive weeks.
Yeah. And Gardner
That
Minshew.
But you went 12-5?
Yeah.
12-5? Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 12-5. But you're gonna let Sam Howell beat you on a day you could have possibly had the number 1 seed?
Yeah, I mean,
Did they bench him at all? Once
no.
Once Philly started getting out there?
Probably.
Because Philly had to lose, but they had control of that game. It says 22-16, but that's the wrong game. LOL. Yeah. Cooper Rush only had 1 pass. So,
Yes.
No, they didn't. They didn't bench him. So you have to be scoreboard watching, right?
Yeah.
At some point, somebody's got to be in McCarthy's ear saying, "Hey, yo, the Eagles are gonna lock the 1 seed. Just take Dak out." Like something, right?
Right.
'Cause that's worst case scenarios. You get like with Brady, with the center for the Buccaneers.
But here's
Worst case scenario, Dak gets hurt.
Here's the big thing, though. It's not really the worst case scenario because Cooper Rush played fine.
He did.
He played fine.
When Dak plays well, the Cowboys are good. When Dak doesn't remember how to throw a football,
That's true. They're bad.
you're getting crushed.
But Sam didn't have a bad game. I mean,
No,
defense did a lot of the work.
that's true.
It did a lot of work. That Commanders defense is scary. I think they will be good.
Well, it helps they had Chase Young actually playing again.
Yeah, and wait till next year. This team's gonna break out.
Full off season.
Yep, this team's gonna break out. But Sam Howell, 11 for 19, didn't let him really throw the ball around too much. 169, nice. Touchdown and an interception. You also had Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. I'm pretty sure they took Jahan pretty high.
I believe so.
But they're at 74-72. Not bad. Not bad for this team. I think Sam Howell, if you get him full off season, you're not going to have Carson Wentz. Taylor Heineke might be the backup because why not? He's reliable. But I think this full off season for this team, plus the draft coming up, I think this team's going to look a lot different and a lot better come next year. What is so? This one was the nail biter. Not really. It was a really boring game. But let's jump into it. Seahawks, Rams. I said it last week. Said it all week. This was going to be a bloodbath. And it was.
Shootout.
It was. It was a bloodbath.
I just wanted a shootout.
If Van Jefferson runs more to the sideline and Baker waits another 1 second, that's a touchdown. Seahawks lose.
Or if they don't call that roughing the kicker.
Yeah, that
I heard about
dude,
that. Trust me.
they didn't even do anything with that drive anyway. He missed the field goal.
Oh, I heard. I just heard it's rigged. I heard a lot of things.
Yeah, it was a bullshit call. And I'm as a Seahawks fan, I'm saying it's a bullshit call.
I didn't even see the replay, so
One of the Seahawks linemen pushed him into the kicker.
that's good shit out of him, actually.
I mean, yes, but as per it's not the defender's fault. He was shoved.
Yeah.
So
It's like catch interference.
right. Baker didn't have an exciting game. He went
Shocking.
13 for 26, 147 interception. That's why I'm saying if they just would have waited another second and let Van run a little bit more, Quandre Diggs is nowhere near that ball in overtime. And that was the other coldest picture of the weekend because he intercepted it and Bobby Wagner was right there and he's just pointing.
I saw that. Yeah.
I felt things. I mean, this
'Cause he
team's
was still in play, running back, and he was pointing at him on the sideline. Yeah,
it
I
was
saw that.
it was fantastic. And don't get me wrong, I love Bobby Wagner. He did amazing things for the city. You know, as a person and as a football player, you know, he's a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best linebackers. You put him and Luke Kuechly side by side because those were the two baddest motherfuckers in the league. Cam Akers is that guy again. And it's scary.
Funny how it works like that.
It's scary. And, you know, it was weird hearing Mark Sanchez in the booth. It was very weird. Because he's a character.
He's something.
He is something. He's in the booth telling, you know, story left and right, and he's talking about Cam Akers. He's like, this is a guy you didn't think was going to play another down. And now he's a animal.
Yeah.
Like, 21 carries for 104
Doesn't make any
yards.
sense.
It doesn't. It does not.
Doesn't make sense at all.
But Van Jefferson was your leading receiver. Tyler Higbee got hurt. Also, that Jalen Ramsey, fantastic game. 2 picks.
Did
Yeah, he had 2 picks.
Looked good out of him.
Yeah, finally.
Earned all year. You're bound to show up one week.
But he did get 2 picks. But here's the crazy thing. Bobby Wagner had 7 solo tackles. That's scary. That is scary. Where's this other dude? And then you had Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp was everywhere on the field. Jalen Ramsey was everywhere. Ernest Brown the fourth. A dude is learning from having Bobby on that team. It's scary. This whole team is really good. Ernest Jones, that was another guy. I think that was the linebacker. Yeah, Ernest Jones. Dude's so fast. Like I was mind blown. But this Rams team really needs a new direction, honestly.
I think they just need Stafford and Cooper Kupp back.
They need
Aaron Donald. Donald didn't play yesterday.
No, he did not. He was injured. But you know, another big key piece that was missing from this team that was there last year was Andrew Whitworth. And
a big leader.
Every line Andrew Whitworth was a part of was fantastic.
Because he's a good lineman.
Yeah.
And good person, too. He's always man of the year.
So,
the nominee.
I think that you just saw their offensive line fall apart. That's what it came down to this year, and that's where I think a lot of their struggles and frustrations, especially with like Cam Akers, is the line was falling apart every time you get the ball. And then you have Stafford go out, then you get Wolford in there, and then he gets hurt, and then you have to start somebody else, and then you go get Baker Mayfield because you need somebody. And it was just a roller coaster year for him, and it was not a good Super Bowl hangover. It lasted all year long. But it did.
That was a big boy hangover.
And, you know, another big thing is they didn't also have Odell Beckham.
Nope. No, they didn't.
And so that's why we saw Matthew Stafford, even though and is Allen Robinson hurt too?
Oh.
So Allen,
he might have been for this game.
I
But
haven't seen him.
He's been there most of the year.
But this Ram team, I think you got to look at what they're going to do in the draft. They might go quarterback just to have insurance over Stafford. I don't think Stafford's got much left in him, and you're going to need to replace him soon. Buff up on the defense just a little bit more because
he's on IR. Been on IR.
You don't know how long Aaron Donald's going to be around either. And then you got Bobby Wagner, who's coming to the end of his career, most likely 30-something years old. But
Allen went down Thanksgiving.
Yep. I know I'm smart sometimes. Come on now.
The top ticker on ESPN just changed.
Oh, I'll hear about it after the show. On the Seahawks side, it wasn't much better. You had Geno, he threw 2 picks. I was expecting this out of him. It's a bloodbath game. It's against a division opponent. It's can you get to the playoffs without Russell Wilson? So much was riding on this game. He broke Russell Wilson's single-season passing record, which, I mean, I expected him to. He's a guy who likes to sling the ball around, and he's thrown the ball a lot, and he's been very successful this year. And I commend him for that. That's awesome to see. But here's the thing. He practically played to 500.
Yeah.
He's 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get 500. They are in the playoffs. They did get there without Russell Wilson. It's fantastic to see. Too bad they're going to get first rounded by the 49ers.
Well, that's just bad timing and bad luck that they didn't pull Minnesota.
It is true, because I think they could beat Minnesota.
So do I. I think Minnesota loses this weekend.
You know, Baker Mayfield also almost got reeked like 3 times over the weekend. Or over the game yesterday. Tariq Woolen was flying. It was insane. That dude's got so much skill. I want to ask your honest opinion here on this next person. How are we feeling about a full year of Kenneth Walker? Just, be honest. Full year of Kenneth Walker. He has over 1,000 yards on an against NFL defenses.
I don't want to. I will not answer that.
And he ran for 29 carries and 114.
Makes me mad every time he has the ball.
But Kenneth Walker had a fantastic season.
Unfortunately.
He had hey, great for me, not for we.
That is true.
Geno, also 4 carries, 51 yards. There was a play... And this was another controversial call of the game, where Geno busted one off for 20-something yards, and he looked fast. Like, he kicked it into next gear and was gone.
A NASCAR and couldn't be stopped?
Yeah. And so he was running up the sideline, and he was kind of going out of bounds, like tapering off to go out. And DK and Jalen Ramsey are going at it, as they are. He's blocking him. And Jalen kind of steps into the way of Geno Smith and lays him at the shoulder. And they called unnecessary roughness on him.
I think I saw that one.
Well, I don't know. It could have went either way, because Jalen could easily just dart out of the way. He's going out of bounds anyway.
The refs are sharp and ultra soft.
But he also just stood there and laid him. So
it's an ultra soft call.
I also want to commend Tyler Lockett, because he got this 4th season over 1,000 yards. I think consecutive season over 1,000 yards. Just fantastic. Tyler Lockett is a class act. Dude is so talented for being so tiny, and he's Doug Baldwin-esque because he learned from Doug Baldwin, and Doug Baldwin was one of the greatest possession receivers that the Seahawks have ever had. And Tyler Lockett has just done so amazing in his career here. I love the dude. He's awesome. Congrats on another year of just being a baller. Hope you got a lot more left in the tank. DK Metcalf was also locked up all game. 3 for 40. I had a talk with somebody today saying that DK is not as good as he thinks he is. And I was like...
Oh, no, he is.
I'm like, he's really good.
No, he's really good.
Yeah. Big thing about this game is the Seahawks had 6 sacks.
Yeah, it was brutal.
The
first half.
You had 2 by Bruce Irvin, or 1.5 by Bruce Irvin. Kobe Bryant got himself 1, which was right at the, I believe, start of the game. He did a cornerback blitz, kind of did a hezzy at the line of scrimmage, and just ran past the whole line, sacked him. Uchenna Nwosu, that dude is an animal. He blasts through the line, and he's just really fast. But Bruce Irvin looks really good there. They were all over Baker. It was not even close. The only thing that killed them was Cam Akers. Let's see. Eagles beat the Giants. Not shocked. Not shocked at all. Everybody has to go through Philly, and I don't want to do that. It's just, I don't think they're going to lose.
No, not at home.
The only team that has a chance is the 49ers.
That is true.
And a team led by Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant. What a storyline, dude. What a storyline. It is. It really is. Next game here, Chargers, Broncos. Russell Wilson finally learned how to play football again. You know,
13 for 29, so...
You know, hey, big ups to this guy right here, because I made a trade in my fantasy league. I traded Cam Akers for Jerry Jeudy and Juju. So, you know, Jerry Judy's really good.
That's true.
He's really good. We'll talk about them in a minute. Let's go to the Chargers. Justin Herbert was damn near perfect. You couldn't ask much more of him. It was a tough game to lose. You know,
they really only were playing to decide if they were the 4th or 5th seed.
Right, but losing to a division rival going into the playoffs, it's tough. But Justin Herbert, 273 for 2 touchdowns, and hey, Chase Daniel got in there. Mr. Reliable backup man. 5 for 7, and he got 25 yards and a touchdown.
That's how you know they really didn't care.
Yeah. Austin Eckler didn't really run for a lot, which is tough to see, but he's more of a receiving guy. Right, Keenan Allen. You know, it's great to have Keenan Allen back on the Chargers field, dude. 8 for 102. They do. 8 for 102 and 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Carter, not bad, 3 for 43. Josh Palmer, 4 for 39. Austin Eckler, 4 for 36. I mean, this team is really good, and they just really... The defense has to show up. That's their downfall, is their defense this year.
Yeah.
I mean...
I agree.
One of the more touching moments of the game was Derwin James and Russell Wilson meeting at the 3 and kneeling down and praying for DeMar. Awesome to see. I mean, of course, Russell Wilson would do it. He's that kind of bot to do it.
They're also both number 3.
That's why they did it.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm like, what number is Derwin? He's 3.
But the Chargers defense fell apart again. It's not good to see. It's not good to see.
That's why it's going to be hard to beat Jacksonville.
I mean, Russell Wilson had this is a great game, to be honest. 13 for 24. I mean, could be better, more attempts, but 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, threw a pick. But then you have Latavius Murray bust 103 yards, Jerry Jeudy for 154 yards, and who's this? Oh, Russell Wilson's old receiver, Freddie Swain. Didn't know he was on the team, but good for him going 2 for 54. One thing that I need to see out of this team next year, Cortland Sutton better step up.
He'll be fine next year.
Cortland Sutton needs to take a next step in his career because he is that talented.
I think Nathaniel just was not it.
No.
They played way better with him gone.
If they get Sean Payton, be scared.
I'd be scared, and I just think almost any coach, really, except for Cliff.
Yeah.
Don't get Cliff.
But this offense shows right here that it could pop off. They have Latavius Murray when they have Chase Edmonds there. They're rolling Latavius Murray as RB1. Yeah. He's always been good. 15 for 103. That's really good.
Yeah.
So
they've been scoring. That's what it is. They would be a playoff team if they scored more this year.
Russell Wilson indeed has way more touchdowns than he has bathrooms in his mansion now. So, good one to end the year on, I know. Thank you. Let's get into the best game of the weekend, though. I want to talk...
And the last game of the weekend.
...about the Swag Kazekage of the Den. I need to talk about him. He is by far the best personality in football.
Wow.
I think he is the best. But everybody, this is why I didn't like the play or the scheduling of the games, is because the narrative was Seahawks lose.
The winning end for both teams.
Yeah. And then when when the Seahawks won, it was like either Green Bay goes or doesn't. And as you said earlier, it's great to see the team that in division is like, we've had this record in Lambeau for the past this many games. But let's show them. And I think Jamal Williams said it best. He's just like, we're here. Stop fronting on us. Like, stop disrespecting us. They are
the Lions are the first team since NFC North team since 2018 to sweep the Lions or the Packers.
Yeah.
First team since 2018 in the NFC North.
They did it.
And it actually was them in 2018.
Like, this Lions team, like we, in the baseball season with the Orioles, I think they're going to be, they're a piece or two away.
There's an adjective that when I was watching that end of the game last night, sitting here in the cold, because it was cold last night again, it was excitement. I don't think I've ever put the Detroit Lions and the word excitement together in the same sentence in my entire life.
Not in the amount of time that we've talked. I mean, you've peaked. You've been like, you're lifting up the covers to see, and then you're like, no, I can't do that. You're kind of looking, and then you're like, nope, I can't do that, because once you get excited, you'll get your heart broken. And
well, right, but it's like just seeing the team, like obviously a season can be derailed by injuries. We saw it with the Cardinals. I also think Cliff's too aggressive of a coach, but that's besides the point. The Cardinals, the head looked good at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But they got crushed. Same thing with the Chargers. Chargers got crushed by injuries all year. If they stay healthy, they have a legitimate chance to win the NFC North next year, and that's a thought I didn't think I'd ever say.
I mean, and it's all in the back of this defensive front.
With confidence too.
This defensive front, and I think this year has given grounds for them to extend Jared Goff. even longer.
Yeah, I do not think they are, especially now they're down to pick 7, 8.
I mean, here's the thing. You have a guy that can make the throws.
Well, that was the first time in a Lions uniform he played well outside of Ford Field. That was the question I had coming into the game was, can he play outside of Ford Field?
I mean, let's jump into that. 224 yards. I mean, he
And
didn't throw a touchdown.
Winning drive.
Yeah. And, you know,
well.
the defense has really taken the next step for me. Aiden Hutchinson has
They
been...
fired that DB coach. That's all it was. That's all it took.
Dude, Aiden Hutchinson has been amazing this year.
That's true.
He's been absolutely amazing. The trading TJ Hawkinson, probably one of the best moves that they did, too.
That's true.
Because it worked out. It worked out. This team bet on themselves. And you know what? Like Joel Mall said after the game, he's like, I know everybody picked against us. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, the dude
I had money on it.
Like, let me tell you all a little fact. Jamal Williams is the single season touchdown leader for the Detroit Lions.
I couldn't tell you. That had to have been the first time a Lion led that stat since Barry Sanders.
It is. He broke Barry's record.
It might not have been. They had a couple good years, but it most likely was the first time a
running back has been that close to breaking the touchdown.
Well, just holding the record, just being the stat leader.
Yeah. Like, Jamal Williams, he ran all over the place. 72 yards, dude. He is a dog. He even said that in the interview. Like, the dude is a stud. He's starting over what should have been a first-round pick last year. Or a couple years ago. Because I think Swift was taken in the second round. But he was taken, like, really early.
I think it was, like, first or second pick, but...
Yeah. But,
dogs, apparently, huh?
Jamal Williams is a stud. I mean, DeAndre Swift had a great receiving game. Amon St. Brown. He's going to be amazing.
Defense played well, too.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph.
Well,
he got the...
Green Bay shot themselves in the foot. The unnecessary roughness on, number 90, I can't remember his name, who UFC forearm punched Swift in the noggin.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. And then, was it Quay Walker?
Quay Walker.
Pushing an athletic trainer?
Second time. And another player chest bumped him. Like,
but it's like you get disqualified for pushing an athletic trainer. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
That is so. You looked at him. That is beyond stupid, inexcusable. I texted my buddy right after that flag was called, and I said that was such a disrespectful move. And he goes, "Yeah, that was not good." And he's a diehard Packer fan.
It's like think about it in this term, right? Players down on the field, and that's the dude that could save his life.
In this week, and the week we just went through, with DeMar last week, with all those athletic staff, team doctors, and being honored.
They are goddamn heroes.
They were honored at 1 o'clock my time, especially,
that's the second time he's done it this year, and the second time he's been ejected from a game. Get him the fuck off the roster.
Well, it's pure stupidity. I get he's 22. He's young.
I don't care. Get him off the roster. Like you said, unexcusable.
No, it's not. It's inexcusable, and it's stupid. It's downright stupid. And
if I'm the GM, if I'm the GM, he is off the team. I don't care if you're a rookie. That's stupid.
That 15-yard penalty led to a Williams touchdown. That was in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And the Douglas kicking the ball, I heard that on the radio on my drive home. I saw a replay of it. I'm like, what was he doing?
I don't
They were
know.
lined up for a field goal, weren't they?
Yeah, and he just
He
grabbed the
picked
ball. Yeah.
What are we doing? What kind of? I want the drugs he's on because like what?
Yeah,
I
it
have
was.
never and the Lions radio guy Dan Dickerson, great guy to listen to, unbiased opinion, but he, he was like I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
He just walked up and picked up the ball.
Yeah, it was wild. I do want to throw out an interesting stat. Kirby Joseph has had 3 picks this year, I believe.
All against Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, all against Aaron Rodgers.
We were in Ford Field. Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. And then, like I said, Aiden Hutchinson, and we know this. Aaron Rodgers is a hard quarterback to tackle.
That's true.
Aiden got him twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like that takes a special kind of athlete, and he's the only player to get a sack.
He's good.
Like, yeah.
Go blue.
Let's go over to the Packers side. Also, not a good look after the game. Aaron Rodgers linking arms with Randall Cobb, pushes a cameraman.
I'd push that cameraman too and tell him to get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, but
I'm being honest.
if they win, it's yeah, you know what I mean.
But
Aaron Rodgers is gone. Aaron Rodgers is gone.
Jameson Williams did ask him for his jersey, and he did say, "I'm holding on to this one." And yes, he linked up with Randall Cobb, who is probably his best friend on the team. They're very close.
His only friend on the team. Let's be honest.
That's probably true. Yeah, they walked off the field together. I would have pushed that camera. Actually, I probably would have said some bad things that would have got me fined, or maybe even canceled, to that cameraman and cut it from behind me, in front of me. Get out of my way. I just lost a chance to go to the playoffs.
Hey, he'd be no better than Devonta Adams, all right?
I mean, it's just I thought that cameraman was out of place anyway. He was out of line. He went too far.
Right.
My personal opinion.
Right.
Because like he's just trying to share that last moment of walking off Lambeau Field with his friend, and you're trying to get the camera as close as it is to my face right now.
Yeah.
Get it out of my face. I don't want that.
But we saw that with Devonta Adams. It's just not a good look to do. You know what I mean? It's just not good.
That cameraman from Devonta was cut in front of him off an emotional loss. That was a little bit different. This guy egregiously went in front and was going to walk backwards.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I have a problem. But that's just me personally.
Again, this running back room for Green Bay, though, very underwhelming. They have been...
Back the box.
I know,
beat you.
but AJ and Aaron Jones are so good that it's just wild,
That just shows how good the Detroit defense is.
I mean, defenses in general, they've been getting shut down for weeks.
You stack the box with 8. Let Aaron beat you. That receiving core is not going to beat you. Maybe Christian Watson will because
And
he's lightning quick.
And here's the thing: Christian Watson had another really good game.
He's lightning quick.
He went 5 for 104. It's amazing.
It's crazy what happens when you actually know the plays and catch the ball.
The sad thing about Quay Walker and how much of a piece of shit he is, he still had 7 tackles. Like, you can't be doing that shit, man.
I just didn't like in the week we just had, and that was a head injury on Swift. I think they were checking out his head.
Yeah.
Neck. Like, that's just the wrong time to do that.
Right.
In the bright lights with everything that just happened with DeMar.
Right. Nah, it's tough. It's tough. But I'm very happy that the Lions just didn't have any quit in them, and they came out like it was any other game. And that was the big thing. Is I was like, man, I really hope they show up. I don't even care that Seattle could get into the playoffs because I didn't care about watching the Seahawks this year. But I just wanted them to come out with the biggest fight of their life, and they came out with a positive record on the season, which is fantastic to see after the atrocities that were seen last year. So,
yeah.
But anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for the day. Week 18 was was interesting. It really was.
Had its good, had its bad.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment question of the video. What was your favorite moment of Week 18?
No, regular season. Do the regular season.
Regular season. There you go. There you go.
We capped off the regular season.
Yeah. If you also subscribe to the channel, it's free to do. Also hit that bell notification so you know when our videos go live. If you're watching or listening over on Spotify, go ahead and leave us a review. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on the show's Twitter. Talk to us. We want to talk to you guys. Maybe look out for a playoff watch party Saturday and Sunday. We'll see what we got going on. We'll talk behind the scenes. But anyway, guys, I'm Kane, and this is Day, and we will talk to you guys next time.